So recently I decided to conduct a little experiment, to watch 6 lectures on YouTube, 3 that were in my line of interest, for example, American history, experimental psychology, ships, and 3 lectures that did not relate to me at all. One of them was how to iron a Scottish kilt. You know, those skirts some men wear in Scotland and Ireland. I was curious to see if I can take a talk that is not my cup of tea and find a way to make it interesting. In other words, how can I make the best out of every talk that I hear? Now, of course, there's no such thing as boring or interesting. It's totally subjective. But there are studies that show that we are attracted to what we see as important. These are the things that interest us. They grab our attention because they are related to our inner world and our concerns. That is the reason why we will be able to detect our name, even if it's mentioned all the way across a noisy room, in what is known as the cocktail party effect, discovered by Colin Cherry in 1953. So basically, what is boring for me can be interesting for someone else.
The speaker was discussing how to find interest in unexpected places, even in lectures that seem irrelevant to you. Firstly, the speaker mentioned a personal experiment where they watched 6 lectures on YouTube, 3 on topics they were interested in and 3 on topics they weren't interested in, such as how to iron a kilt. Secondly, they discussed how what we find boring is subjective and depends on what we perceive as important. Studies have shown that we are drawn to topics that we find relevant to our lives and concerns. Finally, the speaker concluded by saying that every lecture has the potential to be interesting.
I'm here today to talk about motivation, and I've learned in my few years on this earth that motivation is really the key to affecting change in anything that you do. You can put a paper that was written without any motivation, without any effort, and you can put a paper that was written with drive and passion next to each other, and it's clear which one is the winner. Motivation is the underlying factor, I believe, in everything that we do on a daily basis. If you don't have motivation in something that you do, then you really can't achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Everyone has motivation for things that they're passionate about, things that interest you, things that inspire you. And of course you'll have motivation if you play a sport, if you're in drama, if you're in band, you'll have motivation to accomplish that task. But the true test of finding motivation is if you can find it in something that doesn't interest you. Personally, I'm interested in sitting through town council meetings and reading the 404-page Town of Barnstable budget. But others might not find so much paper so interesting. However, motivation can be found in everything that you do. I like to look at it in terms of finding motivation as just putting yourself in someone else's shoes. When you're questioning, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to put in the time? Why do I have to put in the effort? You can just look at what you're doing and say, this helps this person because, or this person is going to appreciate my effort and my motivation on this task because. And I've always found that appreciation that others have for the effort that you put in, that's what motivates me.
The speaker was discussing the importance of motivation in achieving success. Firstly, he emphasized the stark difference between motivated and unmotivated work, highlighting how motivation leads to superior results. Secondly, he acknowledged the natural presence of motivation in activities we enjoy, but challenged listeners to find it in less interesting tasks. Finally, he offered a solution, imagining the positive impact their effort has on others and the appreciation it generates.